What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Ultimate, and today I want to talk about punishing your opponent. A lot of you may be stuck, in the lower ranks trying to figure out why you can't climb. And punishing your opponent can be one reason. So if you're trying to figure out how do you punish your opponent, basically that's saying when your opponent does a move and they are unable to block after that, that's when you as the player can get some free damage. Okay. And as law players, you must know that you have to know your punishers, and then you have to know how to apply pressure afterwards. But for the sake of this video, I just want to talk about punishing your opponent. So right now we have Paul, and I am the law player. See me over there doing my little back flips, back dashing. Okay. So when it comes to punishing, we want to use the best punishment to deliver the most amount of damage. And if possible, we want to follow up with more pressure. So to give you an idea of what punishing looks like, let's go with this move right here. So now what we're going to do, we're going to use Paul's move. I didn't even realize that was a high. I got a lot to learn about Paul in Tekken 8. So we're going to go with Paul's forward 3-1, which is forward X and 1. And he does this move right here. As you can see in the frame of vantage, it's saying that it's -12. But when we block, it's going to say that it's +12. So we're going to go ahead and set this move. And we're going to hold back afterwards. We're going to record this movement. And now when he does it, it's going, it's +10 on block, which means, I got to turn my TV down. All right, which means we have 10 frames to punish this move. And one of law's best 10 frame punisher is his 1-1-2. See, no matter he's trying to hold back to block, but he can't, because this is the window that the game is giving us to get free damage, which is 1-1-2. I did that slow, that's why I missed. And this is what we mean when we're talking about punishers, okay? And as I stated with law, after you do your punisher, you want to follow it up with more pressure, but we don't want to get into that quite yet. We're probably not going to get into that in this video. Okay, so that's another example of what punishing your opponent means. That was a 10 frame punisher. Law also has a 12 frame punisher. As you can see, the startup frames for 3-4, which is actually X circle. His startup frame, as you can see, is 12. Trying to figure out what move Paul has. Well, we'll just go back to the shoulder. We'll go back to his shoulder. Okay. So now Paul's doing his shoulder. I'm sorry, I messed that up. So now Paul does his shoulder and he's holding back. Okay. So when we're looking at the frames again while he's holding back, you can see the frame of vantage that we have is 16. Okay. So that means, as we talked about earlier, any number that's below 16 you can use as a punisher. Okay. But you also have to put into consideration the distance between the opponent. Because if we wanted to go with the 1-1-2 punisher, it'll still work. I didn't think it would, but it does. As you can see in the yellow square under recovery damage, it says punisher, which is fine. However, if we wanted to add, for the sake of argument, we want to do the punisher 3-4, you can still do it. because it's minus 16. You got 16 frames to deal with on block. And as you can see, when Paul does his shoulder, I'm punishing it with 3-4, which is actually 12 frames, as we can see in the attack startup frames. So as long as your attack startup frames is equal or less to the move that he's doing, you can punish it, okay? So for example, he does his shoulder, I can do a 15 frame punisher for it, okay? Which that works as well, okay? You can do a 1-1-2 punisher. That works as well, because it's a 10 frame punisher. We can do 3-4, because it's a 12 frame punisher. We can do down forward 2, because it's a 10 frame punisher and get a launch. But being that this one does the most damage, when Paul does his shoulder and you block it, you want to go for the down forward 2, because you can get more damage. Okay? That's what we mean when we say how to punish your opponents. So in this video, I just wanted to show you guys the difference. Well, I wanted to show you how to punish, the difference amount of damage in the punish, and how to punish effectively. So if you like this video, kindly give it a thumbs up. If this is your first time here, kindly subscribe. And until the next video, guys, peace.